Good morning. This is 26 Morning News. I'm Andrew Whitehead, and I'm here with my colleague Matt Fiji.
How you doing today, John?
Good.
Good. All right. Well, on the lab today we have international news, we have political news, we got puppy news, we got Kobe Bryant scoring 60 points, and we're going to be talking about marijuana for a little bit, which I'm sure some people should stay tuned in for that. We'll have Keith Shore with the political news, we'll have Serenity Night Swim with the puppy news, and then we'll have you with the international news.
Of course, speaking of international news, Matt, the Queen of England has actually turned 90 years. 90 years today.
Dead yet?
No,
And then for the
she's going strong.
Yeah, and then for the political news, we got Donald Trump. He's very violent. I'm pretty sure he's just endorsing violence in all of his rallies. Then we have, like I said, Serenity with the puppy news. She'll be walking around with dogs, so any of those girls, guys, whatever they want out there, they can come in and tune in for that.
Interesting, very interesting. The governor of Pennsylvania, Tom Wolf, has just signed into law the legalization of marijuana in Pennsylvania. What is your take? Huh?
Oh, I'm just real happy about it. Real happy about it. What about you?
Well, I think it's very important that at least it's being legalized. I think it's the right time. Maybe the governor could use taxes on marijuana is to help the failing schools, because our schools have been having some real financial constraints.
I agree with you on that one. You ready to take us over to the international news?
Of course. This is Andrew Whitehead with Channel 6 Foreign News. The United States Supreme Court has ruled that frozen assets worth $2 billion must be handed over to relatives of people killed in attacks blamed on groups backed by Tehran. The decision relates mainly to the 1983 bombing of a U.S. Marine Army barracks in Beirut. Russia has announced measures designed to convince the World Athletic Governing Body that its athletes be allowed to compete in the May Olympics slated this year in Rio de Janeiro. In Britain, the 90th birthday celebration of Queen Elizabeth II is currently taking place in Britain. The Queen, who has been on the throne for over 64 years, is the longest serving monarch in British history. This has been the Foreign News with Andrew Whitehead.
Up next, we have Keith Shore with the political news and the violence with Donald Trump. Keith, you're on the air.
Good morning. My name is Keith Snore, and I'm here to talk to you about political stuff. A Donald Trump rally recently erupted into a violent chaos on Saturday night as a protester was brutally beaten, and Donald Trump's own campaign manager was involved in the incident too. An anti-Trump supporter showed up to a rally in Tucson, Arizona with a sign that showed Donald Trump's face, and the words "Bad for America" were written across the bottom of it. The man's name is Brian Sanders, and as Brian was attending his seat, a Donald Trump supporter punched him in the face, sending Brian to the ground. A man suddenly attacked him as well, kicking him and punching him while he laid there helplessly, and no one would stop or help him out. And we caught up with Brian and talked to him about the incident. He said, and I quote, "What was going through my mind was, put your arms over your head, because this political movement has gotten to the point where you may get beat to death inside of a rally," end quote. Even Donald Trump's campaign manager was getting in on this. His name's Corey Lewandowski. He was caught on tape manhandling another protester, grabbing his collar, and jostling him around as the security surrounded him. And this wasn't the only time that this has happened with his manager, because earlier this month he was caught grabbing a former reporter, Michelle Fields, and sadly, Fields resigned after her employer did not take her side on the Trump issue. And Trump has repeatedly pushed off any controversy surrounding Corey, his rallies, or his supporters. He said, and I quote, "That was somebody else pulling him," end quote. And this is not the only example of violence occurring at Donald Trump's rallies. On March 19th in North Carolina, a black protester being escorted out of a Trump rally was sucker punched by a white bystander. 3 weeks ago, an African-American man was also punched in the face by Trump supporters as he was being escorted out of the building. In late February, a Time photographer was body slammed to the ground after leaving the podium to go take pictures of other protesters. So this begs the question, Whose fault is this? Is it the protesters? Is it Donald Trump's? Or is it his supporters? Here's some of the quotes from some of his past rallies. If you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously, okay? Just knock the hell out of them. I promise you I will pay for the legal fees. I promise. They won't be so much because the courts agree with us too. End quote. I'd like to punch him in the face. And here's another one. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. So you be the judge. Is it the supporters? Is it Donald Trump himself? Because personally, it looks like it's Donald Trump because he keeps saying these ridiculous things at his rallies, and people are still voting for him. Like, what? Andrew, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling, my man. Back to you, buddy.
On the news this morning, Trump continues to win more states and more delegates. Point of England, Tom's 90 years. Now we move to our weather desk with Matt Fiji with the weather for today.
Alright, so this is what we have for weather today. It's pretty damp and dreary. I don't know the rest of the week because I'm not a real weatherman. Back to you, Andrew. I'll see you inside. Sorry, too close to you, man.
How's the weather out there, Matt?
It's alright. It's alright. I smell legalization. I'm happy. Very happy.
And I'm happy too.
You are?
Yes, because I'm thinking about the finances, the money that's going to generate for our schools.
Well, I guess we have different views on this, I guess.
Let's move to some serious issues. Have you heard about the Zika virus?
I have, however, I didn't really care about it, mainly because I'm a man. Nothing affects me as a man. I've only heard it affects pregnant ladies, so don't get pregnant. If you get pregnant, you'll die. But I mean, no, I really haven't heard about it that much. Do you want to elaborate on it?
Of course. It's said that when these women are infected by this virus at this time, they bring forth babies with tiny heads, which is a very serious issue. But this week, Marco Rubio is trying to introduce some legislature in the House to see whether the American government can actually finance this particular virus and to fight the virus, which is very much interesting.
That is. On the other news, we have Alexander Iverson. Should be talking about Kobe Bryant and his 60-point game and how he retired his catch game.
Oh, that's really good. That was fantastic.
That was fantastic. I was cheering in my bed till, what was it, 3 in the morning, because it was West Coast. And we have Serenity Night Spoon with puppies. So if you like puppies, stay tuned for that.
Next, we have Alexandra Iverson with the departure of Kobe.
Thank you, Andrew. Today we say farewell to a legend. That is right, Kobe Bryant has decided to hang up his jersey as he announces his retirement from basketball.
And the other forward for the final time, number 24 on the floor, 6'6", high school, 5-time world champion, Kobe Bryant. Head coach Byron Scott.
The 5-time champion started his career in 1996 at the age of 18 years old, drafted by the North Carolina Hornets. Bryant was the youngest man to ever play for the NBA. Bryant passed on going to college and decided to transition straight from high school onto his NBA career. He was later traded to the Lakers, where he helped them claim the title of champion in the years 2000, 2001, 2002, 2009, and 2010. He was named MVP in 2008. Kobe Bryant falls behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Karl Malone, ranking 3rd on the NBA's all-time scoring list. According to ESPN, Kobe announced his retirement on the Players Tribune website in a first-person story entitled Dear Basketball. Bryant wrote in the form of a poem that the sport gave a 6-year-old boy his Laker dream, and I'll always love you for it. However, towards the end of the poem, Bryant expressed that his long-lived basketball career was coming to an end, saying, but I can't love you obsessively much longer. He continued saying, this season is all I have left to give. My heart can take the pounding, my mind can handle the grind, but my body knows it's time to say goodbye. According to ESPN, Bryant announced to the media after a harsh loss to the Indiana Pacers that his mind had been made up a long time ago. Lakers coach Brian Scott stated that he was shocked when he found out Bryant's decision to announce his retirement the following day. Bryant's speculation of retirement was well established prior to the announcement due to his previous yet fresh injury. Bryant has currently finished his last year in his 2-year contract deal with the Lakers, grossing an income of $25 million, which makes him one of the NBA's highest paid players of this season, according to ESPN. There is still speculation that Bryant will still be playing in Rio for the Olympics. Bryant expressed his interest for the possibility of winning his 3rd golden medal, ending off his career in triumph. Bryant played his last game on April the 13th, 2016. The entitled Mamba Day was filled with Kobe fans chanting his name. Bryant scored a total of 60 points, defeating Utah 101-96. After 20 seasons, Kobe leaves behind 5 championship rings, an 81-point game which ranks him second best in the NBA, more than 32,000 points in his total career, 2 gold Olympic medals, MVP, and many more.
We say farewell to one of the greatest basketball players in the world. Kobe Bryant, you will be missed.
Up next, we have Serenity Nightspoon with the Therapy Dogs at Eastern University, because colleges all over the world have been doing this to relieve students from finals. Serenity.
Thanks, Matt. Universities across the country have been providing opportunities for their students to de-stress with some interaction with man's best friends through campus-hosted sessions with certified therapy dogs. I came to Eastern University during finals week to experience one of these events and see what all the fuss was about. Here in Eastern's library, students sat in a circle around individual dogs to take turns petting and having their faces licked. New dogs were rotated here roughly every hour to give each dog a break and prevent them from the stress of overstimulation, since much of the campus ventured out of their dorms that day to see these furry friends. The dogs were extremely lovable and clearly delighted to be there. Events like this one are typically conducted during finals week when students are experiencing the most stress. Students have the opportunity to spend time petting and playing with therapy dogs during these sessions to take their mind off of work and studying for some much-needed downtime. Like many universities now, Eastern University hosts an anxiety-relieving therapy dog event every semester. Therapy dogs like these ones achieve their certification through a series of training and evaluation courses through organizations like American Kennel Club and Therapy Dogs International. Friendly, mellow-tempered, gentle dogs with an ability to handle the stress of interacting with many people at a time are typically selected as therapy dogs. According to Forbes, stress levels in college students have been on the rise throughout America, claiming that more than 11% have been diagnosed with and treated for anxiety or depression in the last year, while over half of them personally claim to feel overwhelmed by the stress and anxiety from academics. This is prompting schools to look into alternative outlets for stress relief as additions to traditional support systems like counseling services. Found to be both effective and cost-efficient, bringing therapy dogs to campus is becoming increasingly popular. According to CNN, scientific studies do show that canine interaction increases a human's level of oxytocin, a hormone that reduces anxiety and blood pressure. Positive interactions with dogs, like the experiences here at Eastern University, can significantly decrease stress and anxiety, as well as depression. Through programs like Dogs on Campus and more puppy room events, university students can experience these positive effects. Reporting from Eastern University's campus, I'm Serenity Nightspoon, Channel 6 News. Matt?
Thank you for tuning in to Channel 6 News with myself, Matt Fiji, Andrew Whitehead, Alexander Iverson, and Serenity Nightspoon. We all wish you a great rest of your morning and don't die in traffic.